Good morning, you strange and wonderful weirdos. I'm John.
I'm Stacey.
It's Wednesday, January 25th. And here's why. Today is strange.
Okay, so let's start off with a story about the Earth.
Oh, that's a good motherly story to start with.
So this is a new study that's been published that talks about the Earth's inner core may have started spinning in the other direction. That sounds very ominous. So Earth's inner core, it's just this hot iron ball. They believe that it rotates independently of the rest of the planet, because it's kind of sitting in there on all that molten hot
I believe this is known, Khaleesi.
Is it? I believe so. Honestly, it is a little bit of a debate, the fact that how the inner core rotates. A little bit of a debate against scientists.
Well,
they say this might be a little controversial.
I was talking to a reptilian friend of mine who said that they're all kooks and it's hollow.
I mean, there could still be hollow areas in there.
I don't know. It's hard
between the core and the surface.
It's hard to trust lizard men.
It is. It's something about the eyes. Not very trustworthy.
Double blinks.
So new research published in the journal Nature Geoscience.
That's a big one.
Analyzed seismic waves from repeating earthquakes over the last 6 decades. Now, the authors of the study come from China's Peking University.
You not gonna try those names?
Nope. They said they found, thanks for pointing it out, that the inner core's rotation came to a near halt around 2009 and then turned in an opposite direction. Now, they claim in this article that, it does this quite often, that there's a cycle of about 7 decades that the Earth's core will go through. So roughly around every 35 years, it will change direction to do one whole cycle. Yes.
Just going to point this out. 2009 was a hell of a year.
It was.
Had a lot of stuff happen in 2009 for us. And then in 2010... it just kept getting weirder. We made this dumb decision to do podcasts. And we never stopped, y'all. And, but for real, there's a lot of crazy things happened metaphysically in our world.
And this is something that would affect, not only earthquakes and volcanoes and things, but also the electromagnetic Earth around the Earth and all that's affected.
Does it affect the Earth around the Earth?
Yes.
I was wondering about that. The EAE is something that people
The
measure.
Earth around the Earth, yes.
Yeah, can we put the EAE meter up?
Sure.
So currently right now we're at a 3 on the EAE. And you don't have to worry unless it's a 4.5. So when it gets to 4.5, that's when we get into the weird zone.
It does say in this article that it previously changed direction in the early 70s, again, a weird time, and is not set to possibly rotate again or change direction again until about the mid-2040s.
I had a cousin that changed directions in the mid-70s.
Did you?
Yeah.
Full 180, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was interesting because it said that they believe that some of the things that might happen with the rotation changing is the length of the day. And that is something that we've seen recently.
It is.
That the days have been getting, is it longer?
Yeah, they've been getting shorter.
Oh, shorter.
Pretty sure.
It's one of the two ways.
Because
they fluctuate.
remember, the Earth was speeding up.
That's right. So the days were getting a little shorter. It's supposed to be just very small amounts.
But very minute.
Yeah. I think for a while there, it was kind of scary weird.
It was going longer than long. Mm-hmm. So
very interesting study. Again, they said it was going to be controversial, but
LTL is another thing to keep up with. Longer than long scale.
If you put the longer than long beside the Earth around Earth, you don't know what will happen.
You don't. And you don't want to know.
All right, so let's move on and talk about something that's going to happen in the Earth around Earth this week. An asteroid is going to make a close encounter on Thursday. Tomorrow, people. Close encounter with an asteroid.
Do you think that people at the water cooler, like you got the person at the water cooler that listens to Fox News.
Right.
You got the person at the water cooler that listens to Rogan every day, right?
Right.
You got the person, even the CNN person, Timmy. You got everybody standing there. you know you've got the John and Stacey guy, right?
Oh,
or girl.
That's Johnson.
Person, yeah. Johnson. Longtime listeners, you know Johnson. But you got to have that one person who knows they know the story.
Right.
Oh, do they know the story? Because you know Johnson's standing there, and they're all standing there going, did you hear about the Earth? And said that the core stopped moving. Oh, I know. And that was just right at the time that they found all those documents in everybody's underwear drawer. All at the same time. I couldn't believe that Corporal Klinger even had some. And needless to say, by the way, is there any documents left at the damn White House?
I don't know. I feel
saying.
I feel like they need to buy some more filing cabinets or something.
But then you got our fan that's like, yeah, I totally heard it. But did you guys know what the EAE schedule was? Because it could be 4.5 before we're out of here.
And then it's time to panic.
Yeah, it'll make you psychic.
Those are the fun people at work.
They are the fun people. I wasn't trying to thumb you or anything. I was going to let you.
Continue about the asteroid going to make a close encounter.
Yeah.
On Thursday this week, on January 26th, a near-Earth asteroid that
thank God
just discovered on January 21st. Didn't even know it existed until then. It was discovered by a man named Borisov. G. Borisov. That's all it says his name is here. It's believed to have a diameter of between 12 to 28 feet. So it's very small and obviously just got picked up on somebody's telescope because our big telescopes would just ignore it.
Yeah, the LTL barely picked it up.
I know. Its minimum distance from Earth on Thursday will be 2,174 miles above the Earth's surface. Very close.
That's very close.
It says it's within the distance of 1/4 of Earth's geostationary satellites. So closer than some of our satellites, and like 3% of the distance to the moon.
You remember when you got all psychotic and did the map with all the asteroids and what those would look like if they hit?
Right.
Did you try and see that would still cause some massive damage though, right?
I didn't. Yeah, it's not supposed to hit us. It's just supposed to get that close, but I guess they don't really know.
I mean, we're basically talking about space weathermen. Mm-hmm. Does that mean you trust them more or less?
I don't know. More maybe? I mean, they're not going to lie to you. If they thought it was going to hit the Earth, they'd be like, it's going to hit us.
Unless it was going to hit China. And then they'd be like, everything looks like it's going to be okay. A-okay. Yeah. Not even a reason to look up.
We know it's falling, but it'll be fine. Don't worry about
it. Totally all right.
There is a thing called the Virtual Telescope Project that will show it to you live if you go online and watch it. You can actually go to earthsky.org, and there's a link there for it, and you can watch it pass live.
Check it out, Jennifer. It's really nice. Okay. And then it's just like...
they believe that it'll pass by around 4 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So you can log in around 2 and watch it if you want to, if you're not doing anything else on a Thursday at 2 in the afternoon.
I'll be doing something tonight. I'll be doing in our hometown now. It's our hometown. Mm-hmm. AEW Wrestling's coming to Lexington. Enjoy.
All right. Let's move on and talk about a UFO sighting.
Let's.
All right. So this is not a recent UFO sighting, but...
Or a USO sighting.
Or any of those.
Yeah, no.
The picture of it has just recently been released. Now, this was released by Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. Now, Jeremy and George have a new podcast called Weaponized. And you can go to their website, weaponizedpodcast.com. There's a video version of it. You can go to Jeremy Corbell's YouTube page and watch it. And on this episode, they released a metallic orb that was flying over Iraq. And it looks just like, it's very strange. It flew right alongside a spy plane. And this is just a previously unreleased photo that they've now shared and done a full discussion on. And it's actually very strange looking.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look like it should be able to fly or anything. Supposedly, it flew along beside the spy plane without losing any altitude, just kept right along with it, completely unexplained.
Yeah, it was a weird day it was like an alien spy. So it was like, what the hell?
Now, it was from the pictures from a video clip that was shot back in 2016. But like I said, it is over Iraq.
We don't have the spy planes there anymore.
You don't normally get things out of,
5
Iraq.
years. I mean, my God. We wouldn't do that now. Back then, though, we had one there and we saw this thing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've seen these before, though. It's a really great piece of evidence or footage. I'm glad they're starting to release things again.
Mm-hmm. They made it sound like, this article made it sound like Jeremy and George are going to be dropping more evidence as the podcast continues. Like as they go on doing episodes, they're going to have more things that they release and talk about, and should be something interesting to check out if you're interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah,
go to weaponizedpodcast.com, and it says it's a presentation of Jeremy Corbell, George Knapp, Dark Horse Entertainment, and Cadence 13 Studios. So it's very well produced. Should be interesting. I have not watched it yet, the whole episode, but I did see the picture, which was
it's good. They're all about dropping some truth, and if that doesn't work, they might drop their pants. You never know. The guys are all over the news.
That I don't know anything about that. Yeah. All right.
Me either.
Let's move on and talk about this story.
You could talk about our OnlyFans. Only paranormal couple out there with their own OnlyFans.
All right. So let's talk about the story from Chicago.
Okay.
About a sword that was mistaken for a replica that is actually an ancient 3,000-year-old weapon.
Oh, my God.
Completely authentic.
Wow. They thought it was a fake movie?
They thought it was a replica.
Oh, wow.
So in the 1930s, this tarnished bronze sword was pulled from the banks of the Danube River. And it was styled kind of like a Hungarian weapon from the Bronze Age, yet at the time it was assumed to be a replica, possibly from like the medieval era or later. And so for like 100 years almost, it's been sitting in the Field Museum in Chicago labeled as a copy. Well, last year, the museum was preparing for an upcoming like exhibit on ancient European kings. And a visiting Hungarian archaeologist, they did not give us his name, they don't know who he is, took one look at the sword and was like, that is real. They didn't really believe him, right off the bat. They're like, you just looked at it and you say it's real. So they took it down. They used some x-rays. They did some testing on it to see if it really had...
Oh, I bet his told you so face was unforgettable.
The right combinations. Because, the metal has to be the exact combination to prove what time it was actually
Can you see it now? I bet he's standing over their shoulder going, huh? What's the result there, Freddie? What's it say? Just curious.
So it turns out that the sword's chemical makeup matched that of other artifacts from the Bronze Age time. And they were so excited because usually this story goes the other way. Usually they take the authentic thing and find out it's not real. But
love.
They believe that the ancient sword was thrown into the waters of the Danube sometime between 1080 and 900 BC for ritualistic purposes, possibly to commemorate a battle, or maybe it was just, cursed and they wanted to get rid of it. You never know. There's lots of reasons to throw swords in rivers.
Yes, it was check off the list. It was either religious or pagan, or they were trying to tell what time it was with the damn sword, or they dropped it off a horse's ass.
It just bounced in there.
It's in the river's all that matters.
It was so unlucky. And it's going to be part of the upcoming exhibition, the one they were getting ready for, called The First Kings of Europe. It's set to open in March of this year. Should be pretty fascinating.
They should make an exhibition called Whoops.
We labeled that wrong.
Yeah. What a great exhibition. What a great coffee table book.
Yes. Oh, there you go.
I wonder who just stole the idea.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Exhibits that were labeled wrong.
So many of you have stolen our ideas in the past. We don't actually mind. We know we're muses for the community.
We see you. We know what happened.
We do see you all the time.
We don't mind.
Not at all.
We don't talk bad about you behind your back.
Never.
Or anything.
No.
We're very nice.
We're the best.
All right, let's go on to the last story. You ready?
I'm ready.
So this is a story from Idaho.
Idaho, huh?
Mm-hmm. You. Yes, you. The Idaho woman was left unconscious after being headbutted by a moose. Poor woman. Now, this happened back on January 13th, and she didn't report it for...
The moose's name was Dana?
A few days.
It's weird.
That is very strange, considering it was a male moose.
Yeah.
Strange name for a boy moose. So local resident received substantial but not life-threatening injuries when she was attacked by a moose in her driveway. Now, but right immediately before the attack, the moose was encountered by a small unleashed dog. Now, the owner tried to intervene to get the dog away from the moose, and the moose, which was about 20 feet away, I guess took offense to that, charged and ran at her, headbutting her, like hitting her right in the head, knocked her completely unconscious. She did suffer some other injuries. It looked like they said they were consistent with her being attacked on the ground. Nobody actually saw the attack. Like there wasn't anybody watching. There's no video or anything like that. She did have some other injuries that were consistent with the attack continuing after she was on the ground.
You think the dog had to give up its dog license?
I don't know.
Like you're supposed to take the place where animals give out those, we take care of our owner licenses. It's ran by a cat. It's ran by the cat that took care of that little boy. You know that one that came out like a couple years ago where it shows the little boy playing outside. The big mean dog comes up in the yard and the cat all of a sudden goes full on Kung Fu Louie.
Yeah, and saves the boy from the dog.
So I watch that thing over and over. I try showing our cat. I'm like, see, this is what you're supposed to do. And he's just like sitting there all diabetic and fat.
Our cat's like, I growl.
He does growl.
It's very weird.
It is weird. That's weird. So headbutting moose. We lived around the meese in Maine, and we never could get one that. We didn't try to get them to charge us.
Well, they're not normally aggressive like that, but
they charge you
if they get anxious or they feel like they're being threatened. Of course, the little dog was there, probably yapping at it, so that probably
maybe it's annoying.
Made it.
I think the woman did something.
Annoyed? You think so? Well, nobody saw it. Like this is just her account of what
allegedly. Happened. We believe her account.
Right.
We always believe her.
It says normally moose are not aggressive, but if it's stressed, or protecting its young or something, it is probably going to charge. Moose are huge, by the way. You don't really realize they're like 6 feet tall.
Yeah, first time we were on a place called the Golden Road in Maine, and it's a access road. We were going to go, Bigfoot hunting. Another one. We're so weird. And we were about 4 hours in. 4 hours in, not of the trip. We were about 10 hours in of that. 4 hours into the canopy.
Wow.
And that's when we saw the big ass moose. The whole time we had heard of the moose, and we had not
never got to see one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yes.
All the stories are true, baby.
That's our travel style. Most people are like, oh, you have to take extra tires when you drive down that road. It's very bumpy and rocky.
Oh my God.
They're like, make sure you take food and water and blankets and extra tires. You could get stuck out there. There's no cell service. It's the middle of nowhere. It's like an access road for logging or something. I have no idea what it's for. Usually it's blocked off on the end, and we're just like, oh, look at the pretty leaves. Let's go this way. And just, I don't know how we didn't get stuck there.
Yeah, it was crazy. We passed Travis Walton out there telling the recounting of what happened to him.
It was very pretty.
Yeah, it was. It was beautiful. Was that your story?
That was my story. Yes. Just they're going to try and relocate the moose to a more remote location.
Oh, okay.
And they said, if stuff like that happens to you, don't wait a few days to report it. Just go ahead and report it. But
after you wake up.
Yes. After you wake up from being headbutted and trampled by the moose, she's actually lucky she wasn't hurt worse, I think.
Yeah. Let's see what that meter's up to. Oh, God.
It's getting weird.
4.5, y'all. That's why today is strange.